Hey guys, welcome back. This is ChosenArchitect, and today we're going to be diving into some IC2 and setting up some really cool automation. So I hope you guys are ready. So today I think we should probably get started with some IC2. Now I know a lot of you probably haven't even touched IC2 since, back in 1.7. I mean, it's been a long time since I've played a pack that has required you to use IC2. I think one of the most recent ones that I think I've played was Age of Engineering that required you to do quite a bit of IC2 to get started. But it's a very good, very well done mod, and it's one of my favorite mods, even though it's just not utilized that much. But as you can see, we have an entire drawer full of Starfield creators. This is insane. I had to turn this thing off. The reason why I had to turn it off is because when this thing gets full, right? Remember how I said I needed to turn it off? These will still input items into here even if there's not enough mana to create the items. So there's actually a internal storage that this thing has. And that storage can corrupt your chunks if it overflows like I had happen. I don't know why, but it wasn't even that, it didn't even take that long for this to fill up and thus cause issues. And basically I had to wipe Britannia so that way I could restart and this actually works. So yeah, it was some weird thing that happened with the internal storage that this thing has. I wish it didn't actually have that, but it does. So I have to keep this thing off, only turn it on when I need it. And as of right now, I'm good. But I went ahead and made this armor. So if we swap out by holding shift, by the way, you put a redstone block underneath the Bibliocraft armor stands, and you can shift right click to swap your armor. And this is what we look like with this insane Terra armor on, Terrasteel armor. It's definitely not upgraded. There's nothing fancy on it. You do get like crust and everything, or not crust, crux and everything like that go on your armor to kind of make it look a little bit nicer. I have went back to the Ender armor just because I can jump with this, and I really do like that jump ability. And this armor, I think, is better than the Flux armor. I almost guarantee it's better than the Flux armor. And that's with protection maxed out on that thing. And this isn't even enchanted or anything like that, which can be enchanted even further than its current state of protection. So yeah, I haven't even enchanted this stuff, and I think it's more powerful. But anyways, let's get into what we're going to be working on. I'm going to try my best to place everything here from that mod. But before we do that, we need to purchase something that's going to make our lives a lot easier. And that is, let's take some money out of here. I think we have enough, right? Let's see, how much did I actually have? 14? Oh yeah, we totally have enough. So let's take a look. I want to buy this, the Creative Wireless Terminal. And it's going to require a little bit of money, but we'll be able to get ourselves a Creative Wireless Terminal. The storage is infinite. The link status, it's not linked yet. The Infinity Booster cards, I don't think it even needs them anymore. And the magnet card does, it'll work with that as well. So we can basically get rid of this magnet if we wanted to, and items would be pulled directly into our system. To link this, you're going to need a security terminal, and it's going to be hooked up. And we're going to place this in here, and that should link up. I don't even think we need a wireless anything. Yeah, we don't even need any type of wireless thing at all. This works without it, which is crazy. And all we need to do now is go into Options, Controls, and Wireless, Open Wireless Crafting Terminal. I like to set that to F, and then find whatever F is, and move it, and change it. Like, I don't need better buildings, or better building wand, so that should be good. So now if I have it in my offhand and I hit F, it still opens it up. But the coolest thing is, I can throw it up here in my armor slot, and I can still access it, even though it's not actually in my inventory. So anytime I need to access this while I'm over here, I can just go, bam, there's my wireless card, and I'm good to go. You don't have to purchase this thing. You can get this thing early on if you want. It's no big deal. It's the same premise, works the exact same way, except for it's not infinite in range. You have to actually put the upgrades in for that. With this, it should be infinite. It's creative. I should be able to go cross-dimensionally, and it should still work, which is pretty crazy. So let's kind of get started with what we need to do today. And that's going to be IC2. Now, IC2, we're going to need to work on a couple things. The only things I really want to work on is to get automation for overclocker upgrades, right? And then to make UU matter, which to make UU matter is not an easy process, but with EMC can probably be done relatively easy. We basically need to make UU matter. If we take a look at UU matter, you can see how it's actually processed. I don't know if it tells you. UU matter. It doesn't actually show you how it's made, as far as I'm concerned. But it is a part of IC2, as you can see. Basically, we need a recycler. If I can pull that up. We need to take a recycler. The recycler is going to make a lot of stuff. It takes a little bit of time to get here. But we're going to use scrap inside of... It doesn't even have it listed. Well, we're going to work on getting it. It won't take very long, but we'll have all of that done very soon, I hope. The UU assembly bench actually looks new. It says you'll probably want the replicator? Huh. I've not actually seen the UU assembly bench before. But the replicator is what will utilize the UU matter, but we're going to be probably storing it instead of doing it here. You can actually copy a lot of items inside the replicator and do stuff like that, but basically we just need to get things up and running. Up and running is all we need to do. And to do that, generators are going to be our best bet. But I think we can also convert our RF power over to this power. I don't exactly know if that's possible. Clear settings, priority, network selections, network statistics. When you create a network energy type, you can actually change it to Tesla, Redstone, Flux, energy units, joules, applied energistics, forge energy. And I think forge energy works with this. Tesla. Yeah, I think forge energy works. So if you cancel that, go to edit network, that's on forge energy. All we can do is try. So let's see if we can just make any of these items here. Definitely getting into the stage of making overclocker upgrades. Let's take a look at overclocker. Overclocker upgrades require coolant cells, and we also need a way to autocraft these circuits, which shouldn't take too much to do. We can set up automation for that pretty easy. But the coolant cells themselves, they show right here that they're not actually being filled. They mean you have the reservoirs that are showing it's being filled, but we need to actually fill it with coolant, IC2 Coolant, which is this stuff right here. And the IC2 Coolant comes from a fluid solid canning machine. So this is something we're going to need to definitely make. And that's going to require water with some lapis, and that will produce this. So lapis dust. I should be more specific. Lapis dust. And it has to be set up in a very specific manner here. And then we need a way to pump that out. So definitely one of the things we need to make is fluid solid canning machine. Fluid solid canning machine. Man, if I could talk today. So with basic casings, all of this is just going to require plates. And we need to just get plates made. And once we get plates made, we can pretty much pull them out of here. Now, plates. Let's do iron. Right? I'm going to need iron, copper. Just some of the basic things that are used here. Tin. I don't think lead is used. There's industrial craft. I don't think it's going to matter which type we use. Let's go back over in here. Copper, tin. There's really a lot of copper and tin for most machines. It's going to require a lot of that, and iron. Yeah. If we find something else we need, we can go ahead and do that, but I think it's just a lot of copper, tin, and iron, which is completely understandable. So we do have a compactor. Or is it a compactor? This is a compactor. Yeah, and that should get us the plates we need. And get them pretty fast. Awesome. And we could save those. And just do plates. And we'll just grab a few plates. Right? Throw those in our storage. we should have them for later. So yeah. All right, so let's hop into IC2. Some of the first thing we're definitely going to need is power, but like I said, I want to try and see if this actually works. So let's get the fluid solid canning machine. Right? We can kind of skip a lot of the early stuff because we don't actually need it. Let's do canning. So here's that fluid solid canning machine. We need electric circuits, which we're going to require this cable, copper cable. This is not EMC-able, but the rubber definitely is. And it looks like you can use plastic or rubber, which is great. Cutters, those are definitely going to be something we're going to need. Did it not make them? Requires iron and iron plates. What am I missing? Iron. And iron plates. I don't know why I didn't craft that. That's got me kind of concerned. Alright. So we should be able to craft this. It's not working. That is not good. There's something not working with this wireless crafting terminal then. If this is not working, then something's wrong. Alright. Plastic. We'll just get a few of those. Because we're going to need a bunch of these. I still don't know why this is not auto-crafting, because like stuff like this, that should be auto-crafting. There's something wrong. Let's see. I don't think this is going to matter. Oh, it doesn't even need an infinity booster slot, I don't think. There's not even a slot for it. Say it wouldn't let me put that back in the system. Alright, let's just get, let's try this first. Because maybe it actually needs the wireless access point to properly function. You know, maybe that's the issue. I don't exactly know, but we're going to make it just in case. I'm going to make sure this actually works. Like, this should... Our card should connect. Now let's try this. Okay, now it's working. That's weird. I don't know why it's not working for the IC2 stuff. Maybe if it's in my bauble slot, is that an issue? Yeah, if it's in my bauble slot, it does not work. It literally has to be here. If I open it with this, does it work? Does not work. If I open it by hand, doesn't work. Am I out of range or something? I'm out of range. That's very weird. I don't know what... Weird. Because this should not be a thing. Ender dust comes from ender pearls. Maybe we found an issue. I think there's an issue there. Yeah, because this should definitely be working. Alright, let's just go ahead and throw this in here. We'll let that do its thing. I want to get this figured out, because if I can't throw the auto crafts in while it's over here, there's no point for me even making this. Like, that should work. That should totally work. And the Infinity Booster card is supposed to go in one of the... There's supposed to be a slot here, but because this is a creative one, it doesn't have that slot. Weird. Very weird, but that's okay. We'll get some upgrades on this, definitely. We have to put upgrades in, we'll definitely do so. Oh, come on, don't do that. Sitting there, it's cooking them up. I gotta sit here and babysit it. To get as many of these cards as we possibly can get. Alright. That's fine. And we should be able to craft this. Ender dust. For some reason we lost some power there. And there's 30 of those. Okay, that should hopefully work. Let's find out. Can I say, autocraft me that? Now I can. Okay, so now it's working. Very, very weird. Very weird. Alright, let's throw some fuel in here just to kind of fill up our buffers. We are sort of draining power. Alright, so now that I have that actually working, let's get back with that weird issue we had with IC2. Fluid. Canning machine. Right? Not a slut. No, we need a fluid canning machine. There we go. So let's go ahead and make the basic machine casing. What we can actually do is also set up some auto-crafting for some of this stuff, which I think would be very, very useful for us. Like auto-crafting these inside of our system. There we go. There's our electronic circuit. And also we need all of this, which is going to require us to use a forge hammer. Which I don't mind. I like the method of forge hammering it. But if we had a metal former, it would be a little bit more efficient. And easier to set up. Right now, I just want to see if forge energy works. So, fluid solid canning machine. Let's hope nothing explodes on us. Right? Let's set that down right here. Also, IC2 wrench. Something that we're probably going to need. There we go. Oh, that's weird. I didn't know I had Industrial Craft versioned in there. Weird. Okay. So, let's see if forge energy works. Let's get a plug. Or a point. Okay, so it doesn't connect. Do I have to use some sort of battery? That might work, but okay, so if this doesn't work, that's fine. I'm sure there's a way of getting it to work. Potentially. Let's wrench that to get our item back. Very handy to have this thing, by the way. And then let's work on generators. And also I want to put this in my bauble slot, because now it should work. So, generator. The very first one is the power generator, tier 1. It's going to require the furnace, and we have, I think, a bunch of furnaces in our inventory. I want to do 4 of these for right now, because we have unlimited resources. I also want to make some batteries, but that's going to require some cabling, some tin cabling, which is going to require that wire, which at this point, we should now have the ability to make this. Right? Because this should actually autocraft. And I can make me some more cutters. And that shouldn't take very long at all. There we go. Very, very nice. So I'm going to grab some of this. Throw that in there. And we'll just make some of these. Perfect. Alright, make a couple batteries. We need, what, 4 batteries I think it was? And what do I need? Tin casing? Forge hammer. For some reason, that doesn't actually work. I don't know why. But that's okay. 2, 3, 4. You notice our power does work for this. Otherwise, it wouldn't fill my batteries up with EU power coming from the flux controller. So the power is compatible. That's definitely a thing. So, does it need to be connected to like an MFSU or something? Or maybe like a bat box? Like, will this work? So this is saying we can't craft it because we're not in this inventory. So will like a bat box work? I place a bat box down. Oh my gosh, this does work. And that's full. So yes, power can be... Oh man, we don't even need generators. We don't need generators. We can convert our power over to a bat box. I'm actually kind of happy. I'm super happy about that. Alright, I need to make sure this is set the right way. like that. Our input should be here. Fluid solid canning machine. I'm just going to run the cable directly to it. This is 32. This supports 128. And does that receive power? Did I do it wrong? Let me get my wrench. There we go. I had it backwards. That is awesome. So now this thing has power. It's pretty much got unlimited power. And now we can set up all the other processes that are going to be needed for this. Sweet. Okay, so lapis is what we're working towards, right? Let's get lapis. To do this, we can use a crusher, pulverizer, we can use a sag mill, or we can use a macerator. I'd like to do a macerator, because this is going to be sped up really fast. So we need all of our basic machine casing parts. Another circuit. We should have everything else. And there's a macerator. I'm going to do a space up here. Just so we have a spot there. That's not where my cabling is going to go, but we'll route that up there. Perfect. And so now we can set a pipe to automatically input items into here. The problem is we're going to have to get fluids in here as well. And the fluids are going to be kind of an issue for us. We might just move all of these forward one. That's probably what I'm going to do. And I hope that gave us our machines. Oh, it doesn't. Okay. So as you can see, if you don't use the wrench, it breaks your whole machines. All of them. Oh, how unfortunate. Like, that is not okay. Oh, that makes me so irritated. Alright. So let's make our macerator again. I have the wrench, and here I didn't even use it. Darn it. I'm going to need more of insulated cabling, which means we're going to need more plastic. Which means loads of fun, right? Loads and loads of fun. That's something you gotta love, though, about IC2. Alright, back to making this. We'll get our items back. Get our machines back. Alright, here's our macerator. We're gonna have to set our bat box. I want to set it in a different location, maybe. I don't know. Placing it here would probably be fine. Or where we had it would be fine as well. I don't know. Let's wrench you as well. Wrench you enough, it'll actually pop off. Yeah, let's place you in the same spot you were at. Look that up. You got some power, which is awesome. We'll set the macerator up here. And then the fluid solid, we can set you back here. We'll figure out item routing. Probably use Ender.io for that. And we also need cabling. Okay, so now these have power. We'll get lapis. We'll get that going in here. That's going to grind down. By the way, options, music and sound, you can turn IC2 actually down. There's a slider here. So I'm going to turn that way down to like 20. I still want to kind of hear it. I'll do like the sounds from this mod. But I don't want to hear I don't want them to be overwhelming, which is what they usually are. So that's producing that. Let's get some conduits. And remember, we still need to make... What we're working towards making is just the fluid that this thing can produce. So we're also going to need a sink to give this thing water. And we're going to need a pipe. Fluid pipe. Item pipe. And we're going to have to set this up in a certain way. So, items, we can direct those. I think this has to come from the bottom, to be honest. We'll see. We'll see if it'll work or not. Extract always active. Insert. No, this has to come from the bottom. unfortunately. So with that being said, let's do that. And we can actually have these areas open because good old item conduits, they're very good about having multiple things in one spot. Alright, I probably wouldn't be able to get in here. Let's get a Yeta wrench. I want to try and get down here, but I don't think I'll be able to. Yep, I don't have flight either. Let's get a slab. That will help. Just a little bit. There we go. Just enough so I can reach this. There we go. Alright, so that should be set to extract. By the way, what I did there was shift and then I punched it. If you shift and punch it, it'll take your closest one. So if I shift and punch that, it should have been easier for me to do. I don't know why I didn't think about that. There we go, dark. So that's set to extract. This should be set to insert. We should be getting that to go in here, but this needs to be set up in a certain form. Right there. So as you can see, the lapis is going in. So this is also another thing that is kind of interesting. I'm probably going to need fluid going in this side. So let's get our fluid conduit hooked in here. We'll set that to insert. Or not on items. Sorry. Fluid. Insert. Turn the extract off. We'll put a sink here. And we'll make sure this on fluids is set to extract, always active. And as you can see, water is now building up. And this is now working. So what this will extract on the side should be our fluid. IC2 Coolant. So not too difficult to get the IC2 Coolant automated. The only thing we need to do now is get some lapis going for it. Right? And then the rest is just a heavy automation. So what I have here is a fluid tank from Enduro, and I have it on the mode here to pull, and so as you can see here, it is actually now storing the fluid. And what I want to do with this, I'm gonna definitely be using this very soon, and we're gonna have items going in and out of here in order to make this. So what I'm gonna have to have set up is some sort of crafter that is automatically pushing 10 plates in to produce these 30k coolant cells. And what I'm gonna need is these regular coolant cells just to produce that. So let's take a look here real quick. So these, as you see, require that. And the reason I want to go up to the 30k is just because you get more out of it. And if you go even further, you get 12 overclockers per. So we might actually do this. And we can do this all inside of a crafter. So let's get a crafter. Well, I thought I had a tier 3 crafter saved in here, but I guess I don't. So let's go ahead and get that done real quick. So I'm going to need machine frame. Just a bunch of crafting tables is all this requires for the most part. Tier 1 crafter. Tier 2 crafter. The reason I got to go up higher in the tiers is because you get more slots. And I do want to save this, because we'll be using that a bunch. Alright. So here is our crafter. And I'm going to place the crafter right here for right now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have items input. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's say we need a bucket that needs to go in here and then come out, which is exactly what we need to do for the IC2 stuff. So this is what we're going to automate first, is this. So we're going to need 10 plates, so we're going to need a energy condenser, roost, just to provide stuff with it, or provide power to it. And we do have chickens. Not stored in here, but I will grab just 8 of these chickens. 8, I think, is even more than we need. I'll just do 4. Honestly, we can probably do 4 and use 1 chicken per And that should be more than enough. All right, so to get plates, we're going to need 10 plates, right, just so we can store that. And then you can see here we also need buckets. But the bucket, we should only need one, and that way we can automate it. So we'll use the bucket. We'll also use filters, because filters should work. And we should be able to set this up. So this does have an input and output. So if you put a bucket in here, it will output the fluid, and then you can have it rotate back and forth. Over here, we need to basically say, I want to grab a bucket of that fluid right here. I want to say, have this, right, in here. Also need, and because like I said, we're just working on coolant right now. So I need at least those two items saved right here to remember. So we never lose slots for that. And this will always be on the export. Right? So let's go ahead and get this made. Make sure we're on the right recipe here. Recipe. The results of the crafting operations will go in the output buffer. I'm going to put the results of the crafting recipe will stay in the input buffer. Right? Items and input slots are consumed. So yes. So I'm going to keep this in the input buffer because we're going to do other crafts with it. But I'll show you how to get the bucket out here in a minute. So if we hit apply, that saves that tier. Unfortunately, we don't have enough to move on, but this will put an empty bucket in here when we do put enough 10 plates. So let's grab these 10 plates. You can see once we give this some power, this should totally work. Right, and there it is, and there's our bucket. Now, we do need to pull that bucket out, and I also want to save these slots. I want to remember these slots. So I hit that remember button. Because I do need an empty slot here for that bucket, otherwise it could mess up. So let's take our item conduits here, and we'll set up a channel here to extract on that, always active. On that channel. On this one, we'll do extract on brown, or red, let's do brown. Always do brown, always active. Set this to insert on that color, set this to insert on brown. And then we need to set a filter. So I want to extract here, but it only needs to be the bucket. I don't even think did it automatically do it? I don't think so. We may have an issue with the bucket not going in here. We have to do like a roundabout thing. I don't know. The bucket should be able to be pulled out, though, hopefully. Extract always active. Filter. Filter that with a bucket. On the extract, filter, bucket. And hopefully, if we set here to push and pull, it'll automatically take that bucket out. It's not. Ugh. Forget remembered layout. That's not what I want. I want that bucket to go in here, but I guess I'm going to have that coolant cell go out here as well. That's what we're going to have to do. Because for some reason it's not pulling that bucket out like I thought it should. Yeah, it should. Extract on brown. Insert on brown. It's not having it. It's not having it. Okay. That's fine. So, instead, what we're going to do is we're going to reset this. And we're going to change the way this works. I guess. So we'll click back on here, make sure we get a bucket full of this coolant. Make sure it's set up properly. And make sure we set these. Output all, okay. All items in input slots are consumed. Keep only one item in every slot. When all items are consumed, that's fine. The resulting crafting operations will go to the output buffer. Will stay. Pressure applied, change. The resulting crafting operations will go to the output buffer, but remaining items like buckets will stay in the input. Okay. Results of the crafting operations will go into the output buffer, but remaining items like buckets will stay in the input. That's kind of the opposite of what I need. Like buckets will stay in the input. So buckets will stay in here, but I don't need them to stay in here. Huh. We'll do that. Crafting operation will go to the output buffer. We'll just supply that. So that will basically put that there. And also put the bucket there. So when we put the bucket and everything, and our bucket went in here. And now it's repeating. And these are building up, our coolant cells. And I think these stack to either 16 or 64. And we're going to need to also set up a crafting recipe for this. Basically, what I'm probably going to end up doing is just routing this. And we'll have a filter. Because this is going to be kind of ridiculous. Unfortunately, this is going to be how I'm going to have to do this. And we'll set a filter. And we'll just filter these few items. So I want to filter the coolant. And then I'm going to filter our next tier because it's also going to stage up. So let's set extract always active, but I'm going to put the filter in. Inside the filter, I'm going to do this. And then set this to insert. And that should put the coolant here after it's done crafting. Okay. And now for this is going to require more tin plates in a different crafting recipe. So we'll go to recipe 2, and we'll also do the same thing for this. Extract crafting operations go to the output buffer. We'll save that, and that'll throw it here. And then we need to take this, and this will also need to go inside this filter. Because we're going to tier this up even more. So if I put that there, that should round robin put it right back. We'll remember those. And then we'll also do the next for the next tier, which is this tier. And that's going to require iron plates. So let's get everything in here that we're going to need. We'll do the condenser. We can throw that guy right here. We'll get rid of this. We'll throw in a roost. And throw in our chickens. I'm not even going to worry about making this look simple. We're just going to do this. Extract always active. Insert. Perfect. And that should fill that up. And now we need to tell this to extract on a certain channel. Well, I guess we can make sure it extracts on the same channel. So we'll extract on the green. That's fine. But we need to tell this what it's making, which is 10 plates. And set this to extract always active. And that should, when this chicken produces, which might take a little bit, but it should do it. Let's get some emeralds. At least throw one emerald in there. That's going to make some 10 plates. Those 10 plates are going to get filtered into here. And really, we're just waiting for this to do its thing. Also, for the macerator, we're going to need the same sort of setup with an energy condenser. A lot of this automation is going to happen with energy condenser, so that's just going to be how it works. And a roost. Roost is going to go on top. We're going to set the item filters here. To extract, always active. Insert. And then we'll filter into here. And I think I might have to put this on the top, now that I look at it. We'll just turn this off, take the Yeta wrench, and make sure that this is disabled. And that should be it. Now we just need to tell it to make lapis, and we're good. And of course, throw a chicken in there. But we're telling it to make lapis. We could even use the lapis chicken. I guess we could have done that. That would probably make life a lot easier. Let's actually just do that. Let's just break all this. What do we need this for if we have a lapis chicken? Wow. Me not thinking, right? That's all that was. Yeah, because we totally have lapis chickens, so I can just get a roost. That should keep up. Lapis chickens, 10. With a roost. Set that right on top. Extract, always active. Insert. We're always going to have power. We just need to get some chickens in there. And there we go. And we have our process automated, basically. Right. So, this shouldn't take too long. At all. We do need iron. That's the only other thing we're missing. Is to get an iron chicken in here. Which I think I even have those. I just don't have them tin-tinned. So, and plus we also need them to be plates. But as of right now, we are producing these coolants. And yeah, that is doing its thing. Definitely. Once we get some... Let's get an iron plate in here, actually. Because I got to save room for an iron plate, and then we can save this, the remaining set. But other than that, it's doing pretty good. So all we need now is overclockers. And I should have enough here to actually make overclockers, right? This requires 3 coolant cells. I mean, it is producing. It's almost got enough. If we had some overclockers, that'd be great. We don't have any yet, but as soon as I get some overclockers, throw some overclockers in this thing, then this process will go a lot faster. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's episode, learning how to automate the coolant, so that way we can automate overclockers. But anyways, guys, I hope you're enjoying this Let's Play series. If you are, don't forget to click that subscribe button if you haven't already, and also give this video a thumbs up, guys. I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. And as always, thanks for watching.